Hi, welcome to Camp Happy Mail. So today I have a new stencil to play with. This is from Pink Fresh Studios. It is multiple stencils and it is called Modern Design Blocks. You can kind of see what it does here. I thought I would just play around with this a little bit. It is brand new to me. I've not ever used it before. I just took it out of the package. And because it is an abstract design, I thought I would just pull a bunch of random colors. These colors don't necessarily all go together, but I think it might work out okay considering that this is a very random abstract design. So yeah, so that's what we're gonna do. So we're gonna make a couple of backgrounds with this and then we're gonna make some cards. So let's get started. This is a Silcon Craft Mat from scrapbook.com. This is the larger size. I'm just using basic supplies today. Silcon Craft Mat just to help me to hold the paper in place. It might hold the paper in place, we'll see. One stencil, I have 6 of the Distress Oxides over here. Cracked pistachio, spun sugar, fossilized amber, shaded lilac, broken china, and faded jeans. And then I've got some basic finger daubers. I'm not going to use brushes or anything fancy like that. We're just going to use the basic daubers. That's pretty much all we're going to use to do the backgrounds. I might throw in some extra things when we go to make the cards, like the card bases, for example, and maybe some sentiments and some Nouveau drops, but not a whole lot of extras beyond that. So it looks like the stencils are numbered 1 through 5. They've got little corner things on them. I'm not really sure how all that works. Unless you're supposed to actually place them in a corner, which I'm going to have to get in your camera view to be able to see that. But that would place it up this way. Now, you know what? We might be able to get 2 of these on one. Okay. So, you know what? Let's do that. Let's do this. Let's turn it this direction and line this up the best I can. Okay, so this is stencil 1, and I may need to actually tape this down onto the silicone mat. I don't think I have a grip mat here. Let me look real quick. And actually, I do have a sticky mat, I think. This is just a generic sticky mat off of Amazon. So let's try this. We'll just put our paper down on top of this. You don't have to have a sticky mat to do this. You can certainly use the mint tape or something like that to hold everything down. Okay, but I think that'll work. So I'm just gonna randomly see this. We do green, yellow. I kind of want to split up the blues a little bit. So maybe we'll do like this. Okay. And I'm just going to do all the spaces on this one in the cracked pistachio. Just real simple. I mean, not even ink blending. I'm just really just filling in the spaces with the ink. Making sure everything is all filled in nice and crisp on the edges. The little spaces are a little harder to get into with a finger dauber like this, but we're going to do the best we can with it. Okay, and I think that'll be good for stencil number 1. Okay, stencil number 2. Again, we'll line this one up in the corner. Okay, let's try it there. Do this one in the broken china. Now you need to be careful on this stencil because the leaves are sticking up, because you don't want to bend those backwards. Again, making sure that all the corners and all the little pieces are inked in so it all comes together right. Finger daubers may not be the best option for this, but this is just what I happen to have here today, so that's what we're going to use. Okay, that's number 2. All right, stencil number 3. I keep wanting to reach over here for the stencils, so let's just move these. And let's actually put the stencils over here. Stencil number 3 should line up to fill up the empty spaces. Stencil number 3. Oh, it's pink. This is spun sugar. This is a pretty fun stencil, to be quite honest with you. Spun sugar is a lot lighter than what I anticipated it was going to be. Spun sugar is new to my collection. Fairly new. I've had it for a while, I just haven't used it yet. I don't have a real big selection of the Distress Oxide inks. I've just been picking them up one at a time here and there. And I really need to get these out and play with these a little more. Just making sure I get into all the little corners so the design matches up right. All right, I think that looks pretty good, I think. All right, and the next one is going to be Faded Jeans. And again, this one has the little leaves on it that you have to be careful not to bend them backwards. Okay, I think we're looking pretty good on that one. I can see where it was off a little bit because I do have white lines in between, but it's going to be okay. I think the hardest part is probably getting the stencil lined up well enough. I think that'll do. And this one is Fossilized Amber. Okay, and I think that's going to be good on that one. Okay, that's actually really cool. I like the way that came out. You know, for it being colors that I wouldn't have normally put together, I actually really like the way that this turned out. It's definitely abstract. I love abstracts. I love geometrics too, which is kind of weird because normally you like one or the other, but you don't like both. But I do like both. And this has geometrics within the abstract, which is really cool. So yeah, that's a lot of fun. So let's turn this into a card. And don't worry, yes, this looks like a bad thing because of the way that it curled up like this, but it's gonna be okay. Okay, so there's our panel. Now I'm thinking, if I just put this on a regular card base, it's not gonna really stand out that much. You know, white on the regular card base. I'll have to trim it down a little bit further. What if we mat this in black? And mat that on the card base. It makes it stand out a little better. So let me cut this down to a better size. And I am just eyeballing this. I'm not using any dies or anything. So if we do 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and then mat this on top of it. And I probably shouldn't have cut it so thin, so I need to compensate for the top and the bottom a little bit. So it's a little more even the whole way around. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, and let's find a sentiment for on it. So maybe just a sentiment strip, because that would not take away from the background. So what if we just did something simple like this? Yeah, I think just something simple like that would be good. And we will pop this up with some dimensionals, or some foam squares rather. Oh, and you know what? Before I put that down, I want to take a black marker, because the edges of this is a sentiment. I made this one myself and printed them out on a printer. And so the edges are white. So I just want to take and make the edges black on this. Now we'll just put this on here at the bottom. And we could call it done with that. Should we maybe put some Nuvo drops on it? These are clear, but they will give it a little bit of dimension in places, I think. I'm just very randomly putting them. There is no real rhyme or reason, except for I'm just doing around where the circles are. And that's it. That is our card for the day. Just quick and easy. A stencil set, Distress Oxides, some Nuvo drops, and a sentiment, and one and done. So thank you for joining me today, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.